So I've just gone out of the 11:30 a.m. showing of the Bikeriders, which I didn't really know anything about this apart from the main stars, Austin Butler, Tom Hardy and Jodie Comer. And after getting out of the movie, yeah, sorry to say guys, I might be in the minority, but I think this movie falls completely flat. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out this video. Whether you're brand new or whether you're coming back once again, I really do appreciate it. Sorry for any glare that comes into this video. I'm sat in the car, it's boiling hot outside in the UK and the sun's just beaming this way. So yeah, trying to do the best that I can. So when I said that the movie falls flat, what I mean by that essentially is I feel as if this should have been a mini TV limited series, because at the heart of this, you've got an interesting story in terms of it's set on a motorcycle group called the Vandals. And as they start out, it starts with Tom Hardy, Austin Butler, and a few other crew members that include Michael Shannon, for example. So you've got to start of this group, an established motorcycle gang that is very, polarizing, very menacing. But as the group starts to evolve, as time starts to go on, Tom Hardy's character of Johnny starts to realize that he's losing control, and these new younger people who want to join the motorcycle club or who are now a part of it are trying to test his way of ownership over this club. And I think, again, you've got at the helm of this a really cool idea and how this can really evolve into what it once was to what it's now become. The movie, in elements, does that in a good way and parts that I did like, but unfortunately, I feel as if the script, the directing, and the story that they were trying to tell just wasn't great. Because ultimately, the focus of this movie is Tom Hardy, who plays Johnny, who is the leader of the Vandals. Then you've also got Austin Butler, who plays a character called Benny, who's kind of like a right-hand man to Johnny, right? Johnny wants him to succeed and take over the club at some point when he can't any longer. However, by this point, Benny's already a part of the gang. And I would say, personally, it takes around an hour to kind of get into any form of plot into this depiction, because throughout you got Jodie Comer's character who is doing a narration as she is being interviewed and telling her story of this bike club, bike gang, whatever you want to call them, and how their way of life is, how it got started and how each member is kind of joined, blah blah blah, right? And again, if you can tell that in a compelling narrative, I think that can work really well. And I feel as if this movie doesn't really give you many characters to actually latch onto, even if at all, to the point where it makes you really care and be truly invested in this story. For me, I wasn't, and that is a shame, because Tom Hardy is a mixed bag for me as an actor. I've never been a huge fan of him whatsoever. Do I think that he can give a good performance? Yeah, but at times, it feels like he's kind of playing himself, or just in a bit of an abbreviated version of himself. And I don't know, it just always seems kind of like the drunk kind of guy performance. That's kind of mainly what he does. I might just be the only one in that kind of opinion, but that's my perspective of Tom Hardy. Austin Butler, I think, does a good job. Do I think he's incredible? No. I think the standout performance for him is Elvis. I think it's always going to be for me and probably a lot of people. But as Benny, I feel as if a character that has no emotion and tries to contain those emotions, I think he portrays that well in certain scenes, and certainly one that's really impactful when him and Jodie Comer, at this point, who is his wife, are having an argument. That scene I thought was pretty effective, but that was probably the best compelling part of his performance, personally for me, from Austin Butler. Jodie Comer, who has mainly got to do a lot of narration throughout the runtime of the Bikeriders, I think does a good job. She's got an accent that fits very well. I think the aesthetic of the 1960s going into the 70s, for the most part, it's done quite well in terms of, I liked what they were doing in terms of the costume department, the makeup, are like the actual like real locations that they used to shoot this movie, and you know, kind of the props that they had, for example, like the beer cans or the coffee, whatever. I feel as if like it fit in quite well, but again, going into the detractors of the Bikeriders, the actual cinematography itself looks modern day, but just 60s and 70s props in the location or on the set, and it just didn't feel like I was in and teleported to the 60s or 70s, unfortunately. Again, the character development throughout, there isn't really much there at all. Whereas I felt as if this could have started out from Austin Butler's character of Benny slowly wanting to join this gang of the, you know, Bikeriders, the Vandals, right? And have his journey join them. Eventually, you know, like, you know, get trained up and maybe has to do a mission or two, whatever. And, you know, that relationship with Johnny really developing. But we don't really get that because it's already kind of established at the start of this movie. And then later on in the movie, there's an actor who plays a character called The Kid. And as he starts to get involved into the kind of second, third act structure, that actor, I think he does a good job, especially in a movie I saw him in called The Royal Hotel. I think he does a good job, but again, there's very little development given to his character, and it just feels as if they threw like 50 cast members in here and thought, right, we'll give them like 5 minutes each and stuff, and it's just not enough to really connect with anyone throughout the duration of the Bikeriders. That's why I say, like, if this was like a limited TV series, they could have really developed that a lot more, had a bit more interest, start from the ground up, and really give us a compelling story, which I feel like this could have really been. But unfortunately, Jeff Nichols' direction just falls flat for me. So the maximum score I can kind of give the Bikeriders is like a 2.5 out of 5. And I'm really gutted to say that. I really want this to blow my socks off and be one of the best movies or top 10 of the year for me, but it just doesn't hit that note. But am I alone in this? Do you guys agree with me on the Bikeriders? Do you disagree? Do you like it more? Let me know down below in the comment section so we can continue the discussion down there. If you've enjoyed this review, certainly give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to the channel to see more videos. A big thanks to all my awesome Patreons who help to really support the channel. Really does mean a lot. They're all awesome. Join Patreon today from only £2 per month. In the meantime, click over here to see more videos of mine that you may have missed. And until next time, I see you guys. I'll be seeing you later.